I'm feeling personally attacked by this brand new partnership we're finding out about here today because I've been using Modelo as the perfect example of how you market your beer with another equally, if not even more, successful company in order to raise your own profile and help them out as well. A mutually beneficial partnership. That's what I've seen with Modelo and the UFC. And to see the UFC not just decide, okay, even though they have been legendary in their ability to just go ahead and let their fighters do whatever they want as a company in and of itself, even with Dana White's larger than life persona, stay neutral when it comes to the culture wars type stuff. You have people that are staunchly pro BLM on their roster. If you can fight, go out there and fight. You have people that are staunchly against woke culture that are out there. Again, if you can fight, go out there and fight. You just run down the list of their champions that are down there. It's not the most marketable. It's not even the people that make the most box office. They try to set up those fights, but if the rubber doesn't hit the road, they don't walk away with the gold at the end of the day. So to see them do something this stupid right now, like we've been seeing, okay, in the past couple of videos that I've done specifically, we have seen the stock continue to just fall off a cliff. $53 per share, that's just about as bad as it was at its lowest point in May. Sales haven't rebounded at all. Hell, they've got the $150 million bribery gimmick with local distributors to please keep us in your thoughts and prayers when you're filling out the new planograms for Q4. So, because their big marketing push with the NFL has yielded middling returns, they decided, hey, we're just going to go ahead and swoop in. Oh yeah, the UFC. What are you guys doing? And when I seen this headline, I thought, okay, knowing Dana White's political proclivities, he probably would have looked at that sponsorship and went, not with a 25-foot pole, but the way that he's the guy who's introducing this brand new partnership. I'm like, man, this must have been an edict from on high, because if this was Dana White of 2009 or 2010, 2011, during the halcyon days of the UFC late 90s all the way through until about 140, 150 with Anderson Silva, GSP, Brock Lesnar up on top. You know Brock Lesnar's not going to be taking this well. He's back there sipping his Coors Light because Bud Light don't pay him nothing. Might even crawl on top of his wife tonight. Still the most legendary post-fight promo ever. Maybe Chael Sonnen's on his way up to face Anderson Silva again. That was pretty good too, but this doesn't make sense unless you know the business that happens in the executive suites at the parent company of UFC. We'll touch on that here in a second. Let's get all the pomp and circumstance out of the way, or in this type, well, I guess, yeah, pomp and circumcision. UFC partners with Bud Light as embattled beer tries to fight off Dylan Mulvaney backlash. Yeah, what are they going to end up doing? Like Bud Light, okay, normally this would be, if this was any other brand, any other product that's out there, you would just go ahead and hop on to the one professional sports league that managed to grow during the pandemic, didn't bite down on any of those stupid BLM calls, super pro-vaccination campaigns. Like hell, they were running empty arena shows before anybody else was. They were flying out to Saudi Arabia. Habibi, come to Dubai. They decided to go and do that because they wanted to let their guys work and they wanted to entertain the fans, while everybody else would just go, I don't know what to do. And then they ended up reaping the windfall in the aftermath. I'm pretty sure they were the only professional sports league in multiple tangible categories to grow during the pandemic. So yeah, it would make sense for an embattled product, an embattled brand to try to, hop on, sponsor that league. And that would normally be fine. It would mostly be mutually beneficial. It would give a little bit of a shine to that other product as well. And it would also, put them in good graces. But this is Bud Light we're talking about. And Bud Light is such a black swan event where this is only going to end up hurting the UFC, because right now it's trending all over social media. It's back, boys. UFC announced that Bud Light will be its official beer as part of a partnership with Anheuser-Busch following months of controversy surrounding the beer brand that erupted earlier this year. Mixed martial arts organization, revealed, and it looks like they're probably going to be the only one that's left standing, because Showtime is cutting its deal with Bellator, the second biggest fight company that's out there, and well, they're going to be the only one left standing, realistically. I know PFL is out there and they just signed Francis Ngannou, and I don't know who else they have in the heavyweight division to have a compelling fight with him, and he's not ready to go until next year anyways. So they're going to be the only game left in town, and they're doing dumb shit like this. I guess you can weather the storm if that's the lay of the land, but oh well. Revealed Tuesday, it's stuck a multi-year deal with the beer giant involving the Bud Light brand having a heavy presence in UFC content and its broadcasts online beginning in 2024. It's not gonna get any better before then, guys. Jesus. Anheuser-Busch and Bud Light were UFC's original beer sponsors more than 15 years ago. And I'm proud to announce that we're back in business together. UFC CEO Dana White said in a statement Tuesday. God damn it, Dana. There are many reasons why I chose to go with Anheuser-Busch and Bud Light. Were you the one making the call on that one? Most importantly, because I feel we are very aligned when it comes to our core values and what no, Dana, no, stop it, you're lying, stop lying, what the brand stands for. I'm looking forward to all the incredible things we will do in the years ahead. Oh my God, bruh, are you going to send out specialized belts to different trans fighters that are going to come in? Or are you going to have a 120-pound strawweight trans woman category? Is that going to be the new weight class you're going to add instead of a cruiserweight division that you've needed for? Anyways, I'm getting off on another tangent. Anheuser-Busch and Bud Light have always been on the cutting edge of iconic sporting moments that fans remember forever, and reuniting with UFC is a continuation of this industry's leading legacy. Oh my God. Anheuser-Busch CEO Brandon Whitworth said in a press release, this guy, man, as one of our largest and longest standing sports sponsors, we are excited to work with UFC and make everybody forget about the catastrophe that was 2023. We'll get off on a good foot and celebrate our passionate fans. Which ones? The ones that you want to just go ahead and forget exist, the ones that you allowed your boss to call stupid, to say that they were victims of mis and disinformation. It was just one can. It was just one post. Oh, man. Well, always making a positive impact in communities across America. I hate this. I hate it so much, man. Anheuser-Busch will be replacing Modelo. Fucking Modelo, the best-selling beer in the United States. And yes, UFC is an international brand now. They run shows everywhere. But Modelo is popular everywhere. Like, what the hell are you guys doing, man? It's the best-selling beer in the United States. It shows no signs of slowing down. It was number 2 even before all of this stuff kicked off. And you're going to go ahead and jettison that, bruh. Appearing on the... Oh, my God. You went on Sean Hannity to announce this partnership. Okay. The neocon CIA stool pigeon. Okay. This is making more sense the further we read into this. Said his decision to partner with Anheuser-Busch was the furthest thing about money. It was only about money, Dana. Come on, man. I know that you're a carny at heart, but then at the same time, just be honest with people. That's why people like you as the face of the UFC. You don't have to lie to us. This was all about money. They cut a gigantic check in order to dig themselves out of a hole, but you didn't realize at the same time they were trying to drag you into that hole too. These guys employ 65,000 Americans, thousands of vets they employ. No. They just pay lip service to them. Bro, we just set up a $3 million scholarship, bro. Come on, you got to help us out, bro. Come on. They spend over $700 million a year with U.S. farmers, buying their crops for their product. Oh, okay. I didn't know that. You needed to have ingredients to make your terrible beer. And there's many, many other reasons that I did this. Mostly money. White told Fox News' Sean Hannity on his radio show. Oh my God. Okay, good. At least it was on the radio show. Where I sit personally with my core values, and I felt the core values of the UFC, even though we're a global sport. We have fighters from all over the world. This is an American company. And I love this country. I can't deny that, man. Like, he stood in the face of a lot of adversity, okay? And the UFC has weathered a fair few number of storms, okay? With all of the controversy from their different fighters. You had Conor McGregor pulling stunts every other week when he was at the top of his game. Hell, even at the beginning of this year, you had Dana White having an impromptu fight session with his wife at a New Year's Eve party. That did happen earlier this year, and they weathered the storm by putting on a good product. But now the backsplash that you have down there with T-Mobile Arena, you got Volkanovski versus Rodriguez, and there you go, presented by Modelo. Everything's going to be great. Now you're going to have ESPN, which is a dying brand that Disney is trying to get rid of because it's such a loss leader. And hell, how many people have they fired this year? Lay off because they had to creatively restructure the company. Dozens and dozens of people. Now you're going to have Bud Light Light splash behind you, and Power Slap. I think that it's great, but it's going nowhere at the speed of smell, Dana. Come on, man. This is all about money. Just be fucking straight with us. Because even still, White alluded to the backlash of Bud Light previously received by saying fans might not love every business decision that is made by either the UFC or Anheuser-Busch, but insisted it wasn't a tough decision at all. Nope, of course not, because the parent company, which is something that you may or may not have known about earlier this year, there was the big merger. Okay, the WWE finally got put up for sale by the McMahon family, and for the first time ever in 2023, a McMahon did not control whatever the WWE is. Back when it was World Wrestling Entertainment, back when it was World Wrestling Federation, back when it was the Worldwide Wrestling Federation, back even when it was the Capital Wrestling Championships. Earlier this year, it was bought out by the Endeavor Group. And then, what else does the Endeavor Group own? Oh, right. They bought out Zuffa back in the cut about 10 years ago. And now they merged both groups together to form the TKO Group. And, well, they have to do some shady shit. And what did the WWE do earlier this year with SummerSlam? Who was their title sponsor? Oh, right. Bud Light. Cut that big fat fucking check for the third largest event that they pull off throughout the entire year. And what do you see right here from Forbes? The $2.7 billion time bomb inside the newly merged UFC and WWE. Oh, wow. The new company, known as TKO Group Holdings, went public this week. Yeah, in September of this year. So, okay. The SummerSlam sponsorship would have been before this. So I guess seeing how well that ended up working out for WWE, I guess they just decided, well, fuck it. If they're going to cut big enough checks for them, you can probably do the same thing, if not better, for the UFC, because there were numbers that were being thrown around when the mergers were happening, and it somehow turned out, based on some of the loans that the UFC took out way back in the day, they had some variable rates of interest, and it turned out in 2022, WWE turned a higher profit. Not because it's a better product. Absolutely not. You can look at the television ratings. I have no idea how they negotiated such a good deal, but even right now, they're abysmal. Raw can't even pull a consistent 1.5 million viewers, and SmackDown on Fox, where it's going to be shifting back to USA Network, I do believe, in 2024 or 2025, whenever the deal's up. So yeah, you're going to have less than the 2 million people that you're pulling in on Friday night on a major network, going back to cable. You think if you're going to be keeping that Friday slot, you're going to come close to that? I don't think so, man. It's going to be atrocious in the long term. But they managed to pad their numbers with ludicrous sponsorships by having sponsored matches, the little LED boards instead of when they used to have the little banners that would tell you whatever the hell you're watching, if it's Raw or if it's SmackDown, Sunday Night Heat, showing my age on this one, No Mercy, St. Valentine's Day Massacre. You know, they've got the little LED boards that are down there right now, and I think it was the most recent pay-per-view, or whatever the fuck they call premium live events. It's a carryover from the McMahon regime where they would just have these weird things about words, but whatever. They had, I think it was Pizza Hut sponsorships fucking everywhere. So that's what you can get now. Remember when everybody was pissed off about the UFC having everybody walk into the ring, with their banners with all of their sponsors that are on there, and then they'd had their trunks looking like they're walking straight out of NASCAR. But now, because of this $2.7 billion that's going to be coming to maturity in 2026, there's a reason, guys. There is a big reason why they're taking all of these spurious sponsorships, but fast money comes with slow problems, because we're not going back to a time where we have these ready-made superstars anymore, okay? There's not another Ronda Rousey that's walking through that can go ahead and blaze a trail for a bunch of scuff women products, okay? You're not getting another Anderson Silva, GSP, somebody who has the longevity of Randy Couture walking through the curtain anymore. The talent pool is at such a level at this point in time, basically anybody on a given night could be the best in the world, because everybody's been training mixed martial arts. It's not somebody who excelled at one discipline all of a sudden had to pick up Brazilian jiu-jitsu in order to be competitive, but was so far ahead when it came to striking that it really didn't much matter if their takedown defense was total fucking ass cancer. You're not going to see another superstar like Chuck Liddell, even like Brock Lesnar. So that's why, because, okay, there's how many different weight classes? I think there's 3 different female weight classes, and then there's 5, 7, 8 different male weight classes. I legitimately, and I'm somebody who used to buy every single pay-per-view, watch every single special that was out there. I could rattle off every single champion that was under their umbrella. As of right now, I can't even name you one. Oh, no, I'm sorry. John Jones, I think, is the heavyweight champion right now, in between his spurts of being suspended. Listen, man, I like a lot of the stuff that the UFC, specifically Dana White, has done over the past few years. Even though I've checked out, they've made themselves into a household name and they've done really good by their fans. This, I just see, is a massive misstep that is only going to hurt their brand and do absolutely nothing for Bud Light. It is such a dumpster fire right now that anything that it touches turns to poison. And the latest thing, well, it's going to be the UFC. So with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.